Well, Coach, we're through 18 holes of this championship match. I was curious, you guys came in yesterday as a group of Spartans. I called it the cavalry. What have your impressions been of not only the property out here in Bandon, but in addition to that, what we've seen through 18?
Right, well, obviously the property at Bandon, for anyone who's been here, is tremendous. I was fortunate enough to be here about 20 years ago playing the golf courses instead of spectating. So it's just a wonderful place that everyone should think about visiting if you're a visitor or if you're a golfer.
Sure.
Through 18 holes today, I think Brooke's got a little bit of work to do, but she's tough and gritty and very dedicated to what she's doing. So hopefully she can get some momentum on the second 18, and draw even with Mega, and hopefully we see an incredible finish.
Certainly. And I think, the two words you just used that touched me, resonated with me, were grit and resilience.
Yes.
Those are two that are, synonymous with Brooke.
Yes.
Where do you think that comes from? And, how has she been able, over her career as a Spartan, to use that, and especially this week, to come back from behind numerous times?
Yes.
I think it's 4 now.
Well, some of that is, just what's in you when you're born. A lot of it comes from her family and her upbringing.
Sure.
And obviously, with her sister, there was a lot of tough times that their whole family went through, and it was just, they never gave up, and they kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and I think that's where she gets it from, and she's used that to her advantage in the 4 years that I had the opportunity, and the good fortune to coach her. That's just who and what she is, and there was never any quit. There was never being disappointed in what she was doing. She was always working so hard to achieve at the highest level, and her game just continues to get better and better and better, and that's what I love about watching our players. Is we bring them in, we tell them what this program is about and how we operate, and the majority of them all embrace that, and I love seeing progress. And certainly in Brooke's game over the last 4 years, there's been a ton of progress, and here she is a finalist in the USAM.
And Coach, the last thing I really wanted to touch on is the Spartan family that we've seen out here at Bandon. It's pretty remarkable.
Yes.
To be talking to somebody like the director of agronomy, who's a Spartan.
Yes.
For you to come out here and be in a relatively unfamiliar territory, but have that backing, how important is that, and how important do you think that's been in terms of elevating Brooke's game this week?
Well, we always talk about the Spartan family and that we're all a part of it. And so certainly this week has not disappointed. I met several Spartans out there today that live a half hour away, or Fred is the director of agronomy, and there's Spartans everywhere, worldwide. So I think it's just, again, I'm very proud of the Spartan nation and of our Spartan family and what they do to come out and support us no matter where we are or what we're doing.
Thank you.